Juventus have completed the signing of United States winger Timothy Weah from Lille, the Serie A club announced on Saturday. Weah, 23, played the majority of last season at fullback for Lille, although he plays as a right winger for the USM team. Since joining the French side in 2019 from rivals Paris Saint-Germain, he made 107 appearances and scored 8 goals. He also helped Lille win the Ligue 1 title in 2022 and the Trophée des Champions later that year. Weah joined PSG's academy in 2014 upon moving to France from the United States and made 5 appearances for PSG's senior side from 2017 to 19, which included 2 league titles. He was also loaned to Celtic for the second half of the 2019 campaign. Winning the Scottish League title, he has been a key part of the USM since his senior international debut in 2018. At the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, he started all 4 matches and scored against Wales in the group stage opener. In all, he has 31 appearances and 4 goals for the US team. Weah is now the second USM star on Juventus roster, joining Weston McKennie. However, whether the two share the pitch for Juventus remains to be seen, as McKennie has been linked with a move away after his loan spell at Leeds United. He has been a key part of the USM since his senior international debut in 2018. At the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, he started all 4 matches and scored against Wales in the group stage opener. In all, he has 31 appearances and 4 goals for the US team. Weah is now the second USM star on Juventus roster, joining Weston McKennie. However, whether the two share the pitch for Juventus remains to be seen, as McKennie has been linked with a move away after his loan spell at Leeds United. It had been a tough season for Juventus owners, players and lawyers last term that saw the club fail to lift a trophy or qualify for next season's Champions League amid a 10-point deduction in Serie A due to a false accounting case. Weah is the son of former FIFA. Barcelona have reached an agreement with Samuel Umtiti to release the defender from the last 3 years of his contract. Umtiti, 29, is therefore available as a free agent this summer after spending last season on loan at Italian side Lecce. Barca have not revealed the exact terms of the termination, but sources say it will free up some salary space to register new signings. Barcelona and Umtiti have reached an agreement to release the player from the contract binding him to the club until the end of the 2025-26 season. A statement from the Catalan club said Friday. The club wishes to express its gratitude to Umtiti and wishes him every fortune and success in the future. Umtiti joined Barca from Lyon in 2016 for €25 million and soon established himself as a regular alongside Gerard Piqué in the middle of defense. Displacing Javier Mascherano, that form led to a new contract and a wage rise in 2018, but a series of knee injuries after winning the World Cup that year with France affected his club form. After making 83 appearances in his first 2 seasons with Barca, he made just 50 across the next 4 before agreeing to join Serie A side Lecce to kickstart his career last summer. Prior to that, he had agreed a contract extension with Barca to spread out how much he was due to earn over a longer period and allow the club to register players in January 2022. In Italy this past season he has remained largely injury-free, making 25 appearances and helping Lecce stay in Serie A. However, his form has not propelled him back into Barca's plans. With Ronald Araujo, Andreas Christensen, Jules Kounde and Eric Garcia all competing for a centre-back spot, Inigo Martinez will also join the club as a free agent from Athletic Club this summer, sources have confirmed to ESPN. In addition to Umtiti, Barca are also looking to cut ties with defender Clement Lenglet, who spent last season on loan at Tottenham, but sources say his departure is not imminent.
Chelsea signed forward Nicholas Jackson from Villarreal for €37 million, $40.6 million, on Friday, while confirming that midfielder Ruben Loftus-Cheek has left to join AC Milan on a permanent transfer. Jackson signed an 8-year deal with the West London club after completing his medical on Sunday. "We are excited to welcome Nicholas to Chelsea," co-sporting directors Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley said. He is a young player with big potential, as he showcased for Villarreal last season. We believe he is ready for this next step in his career and look forward to him working with our new head coach, Mauricio Pochettino, and his Chelsea teammates. The Senegal forward made 38 appearances in all competitions for Villarreal last season, scoring 13 goals and making 4 assists. Todd Boehly and Clearlake Capital, the consortium who purchased Chelsea in 2022, have typically handed out lengthy contracts to new signings, and Jackson's 8-year deal follows the likes of Enzo Fernandez and Mykhailo Mudryk, who both agreed 8.5-year deals with the club in January. The forward is Chelsea's second signing of the transfer window following the arrival of Christopher Nkunku from RB Leipzig earlier this month. Loftus-Cheek signed a 4-year deal with Milan. Financial details of the deal were not disclosed, but British media reported that the 27-year-old, who joined Chelsea aged 8, was signed for an initial fee of €16 million, $17.47 million. After 19 years as a Chelsea player, Ruben Loftus-Cheek has left the club and completed a permanent transfer to AC Milan, Chelsea said in a statement. A dedicated professional and a friendly and popular person throughout Cobham training ground, Loftus-Cheek departs having made 155 appearances, in which 13 goals were scored, and with Premier League, Europa League and UEFA Super Cup winners' medals. Jackson's arrival comes amid wholesale squad changes at Chelsea as the club looked to mold their squad to the liking of Pete. Manchester United are planning face-to-face talks with David De Gea in a bid to resolve his contract standoff, sources have told ESPN. De Gea's existing deal at Old Trafford officially expires on Friday, when the goalkeeper will become a free agent. He is getting married this weekend, and sources have told ESPN that United are allowing the 32-year-old to spend time with his family in Spain without interruptions. However, club bosses including football director John Murtough are keen to meet De Gea in person to discuss his contract situation. In a statement later on Friday, United said that David De Gea's contract is due to run out, but discussions remain open with the long-serving keeper. Manager Erik ten Hag has said publicly he wants the Spaniard to stay, although the club have been keen to reduce his weekly wage of around £375,000 a week. United had the option to extend De Gea's deal by a year until 2024, but decided against triggering the clause. Sources have told ESPN that United are also talking to Andre Onana's representatives with a view to making an offer for the Inter Milan goalkeeper. Ten Hag knows the Cameroon international well after their time together at Ajax. There is also interest in FC Porto's Diogo Costa and Brentford's David Raya. United have extended Tom Heaton's contract for another year, and Dean Henderson has returned to the club after spending last season on loan at Nottingham Forest. Forest are keen to sign Henderson permanently after avoiding relegation from the Premier League last season. United States international Christian Pulisic has an agreement in principle on a long-term deal to leave Chelsea and move to Serie A giants AC Milan. However, the clubs have yet to agree on a transfer fee, a source in Italy with knowledge of the situation told ESPN. Pulisic, 24, is willing to take a substantial pay cut to make the transfer work, the source added, with only minor details still to be worked out before a full agreement on personal terms can be reached. There remain negotiations on the fee, with Chelsea wanting €25 million, $27.3 million, while Milan is thinking more in the €15 million to €18 million range, the source said. The news was first reported by Italian outlet Tuttomercato. Chelsea is of the belief that Sandro Tonali's expected move to Newcastle United means Milan can afford to pay more, but Milan want the proceeds from that deal to help them acquire 3 to 4 players. This stance is creating some impatience on the Milan side, and they are considering walking away from the deal. Pulisic, however, only wants to go to Milan. Pulisic, a €64 million signing from Borussia Dortmund in 2019, has 12 months remaining on his contract at Chelsea. With the club needing to reduce the size of their squad and wage bill after spending more than £600 million $762 million on new players since a consortium purchased the club a year ago, sources have said Pulisic is high on the list of potential departures. A number of clubs have been approached about the prospect of signing Pulisic, with sources previously telling ESPN that Manchester United, Newcastle, Napoli, AC Milan and Galatasaray have all been made aware of the player's likely fee and salary, which sees him earn £13 million per year at Chelsea. Pulisic has endured an injury-hit time at Chelsea over the past 2 seasons. He was booed by a small section of the club's supporters when introduced as a second-half substitute during the final game of last season at home to Newcastle.
Liverpool are closing in on the signing of RB Leipzig midfielder Dominik Szoboszlai. Sources have told ESPN, Liverpool have activated a release clause in Szoboszlai's contract, which is believed to be in the region of €70 million, $76 million, sources said. Szoboszlai, 22, is expected to travel to Liverpool this weekend for a medical, having already agreed personal terms. If the move goes through, he will become Liverpool's second summer signing after Brighton's Alexis Mac Allister arrived for an initial £35 million. The Hungary international is an attacking midfielder who scored 10 goals and contributed 13 assists in 46 games across all competitions for Leipzig last season. He would be the Bundesliga side's second big-name departure. After Christopher Nkunku joined Chelsea for €60 million earlier in the transfer window, and previously attracted interest from Newcastle, bolstering his midfield has been a top target for Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp this summer, with the likes of Naby Keita, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and James Milner all leaving the club.
That concludes the latest update in today's Transfer News Bulletin. Thank you for following the daily transfer updates on Marco Vu channel. We'll meet again in the next Transfer News editions. Goodbye and see you soon.